These wood slices, they're so much fun to decoupage, but you have to do a little bit of prep work. Like you want to make sure you get all the sawdust off, and that bark, it can shed. So just take a little bit of Mod Podge and go all the way around, covering the bark. And now we're on to the next step. This is the napkin that I chose. I'm only going to need one panel. I'm going to separate it and use that top printed ply, and it's nice and sheer so I can see the wood slice right underneath. Now this is my water brush, and I'm going to follow the shape of the wood slice, and I'm going to do a nice soft water tear. The piece of napkin fits perfectly, and now I'm ready to adhere it, and I'm going to use Mod Podge decoupage glue. So I'm lifting up the top half, spreading out my glue, make sure it's a nice even coat. Then I'm going to brush down the napkin, and I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom and brush down the napkin. I want to make sure it's well adhered. So I'm putting a piece of plastic wrap on top, and I'm giving it a good rub down, and then I'm going to very gently remove the plastic wrap. And look how beautiful it is. I want to hold it up so that you can see. I got to brush down a little bit there first. This napkin goes perfect with a wood slice. All right, now I want to add some embellishments. So this is Snow Text by DECOR, and I'm going to take some of it and I'm going to put it around the ornament, all the way around where the bark is. And this is really good stuff if you want to add the look of snow on any of your crafting projects, and it dries hard, so it really is easy to use. Let me hold it up. So pretty, so wintry looking. Okay, on to the next step. Now, I'm not making an ornament out of this. Instead, I'm actually going to be putting it into one of those small Dollar Tree baskets. So these are the tumbling tower blocks, and I'm going to hot glue them all around the bottom of the basket because I wanted to raise the wood slice up. But after I did one layer, I decided to put another layer because it needed to come up even higher. And I did exactly the same thing. I just took some hot glue and placed them right on top of the wood blocks that were there. Once the glue was nice and cooled and set, I took the wood slice and I put it on top of the basket to make sure it was high enough. And yeah, that's perfect. So a little bit more hot glue. And then I'm going to quickly take my wood slice while the glue is still hot and place it right on top of the tumbling tower blocks. And look how pretty that is. And you know what? It fits perfect. Now I want to add some florals and greenery to frame the wood slice with the cardinals on it. So this is just some berry twine, and I got it from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to hot glue it all the way around the rim of the basket. After I was done, I felt like this really needed more berries, so I went ahead and added some hot glue and went around the basket one more time. Now I want to add some greenery, so I went through my stash and I pulled out all little pieces of greenery. It didn't have to be Christmas. I just felt all of the little greens would look good placed around the wood slice. And what I did is I put hot glue on the ends, and then I just tucked it underneath the wood slice, and it worked absolutely perfect. So after I went around with some greens, I looked a little bit more, and I actually found I had some little scraps of pine as well, and I just took that and tucked it right in there with the rest of the greens. For projects like this, it really comes in handy to save a bag of all your little scraps of greenery. Something this size, it just works perfect. All right, I went ahead and I added some more red berries on top, but you know what? I still have more embellishing to do. These tiny little pine cones, they actually came off of a tree in my yard. So I'm going to go around the basket, and I'm just going to place a few here and there. I'm not going to go crazy, but it really does make a nice rustic addition to the wood slice and the basket. Really coming out pretty. Now, I want to give it a little bit more of a winter look. So this is just plain white paint, and I'm going to go over all of the pine cones, and I'm going to do a little bit of the berries too. Now that it's done, I want to hold it up so that you can see. It's so rustic with the greenery, the wood slice, the basket, and I love the little pine cones going all the way around. Now, how would you display this? Well, what I would do is I always put out a lot of poinsettias and Christmas florals. I would take this little basket and just tuck it in like you see here. But you certainly can hang it on the wall if you want. You just want to take a little piece of twine or a hook and put it in the back, and you have some really beautiful Christmas decor.